akulembera Abafrika mu America mu gavumenti ya Joe Biden avuddemu omwasi naye neyegatta ku Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert Bobi Wine ko ne bannayuganda ng'agamba nti enkolagana ya America ne Mwami Museveni esaanye eddemu etunulwemu erivisingibwe kubanga ebintu Mwami Museveni byakola ate si bye bimuweebwesa ensimbi eggwanga lya America. N'olwekyo agamba naye Kyagulanyi kyagamba nti no more funding Museveni nti Africa esaana ebe yanjawulo okusinga bw'eri olwaleero abakulembeze abaliyo abataawa kitiibwa ddembe lya buntu abeeyagaliza ebyabwe bokka nti ye kyalwanyisa era nti ekyamuweesa omulimu mu America mu gavumenti ya Joe Biden era gw'abadde naye emirundi mingi nga basisinkana mu nteesaganya ez'enjawulo ez'okutumbula Africa n'okutereeza banna Africa babeera mu America ko ne banna Africa babeera mu Africa ebintu bingi badde boogerako ne Joe Biden era n'abituukiriza nga ze batereeza amateeka ag'enjawulo agakwata ku Bafrika mu ggwanga la America olwa influence gy'abadde alina eri Biden era nga bamusisinkana ne boogeramu ng'abantu n'abantu ku nsonga za Africa. Kati asuubizza nti era agenda kusisinkana Joe Biden boogere ku nsonga za Uganda ne Museveni ne Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert Bobi Wine okulaba nga wabaawo ekitereezebwa nti Mwami Museveni emyaka 37 agenda mu myaka 4 gy'akulembedde Uganda gimala kye kiseera bawe ku musaayi omuto bannayuganda gwe baalonda Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert Bobi Wine akulembere eggwanga Uganda bannayuganda bavimbe mu Uganda empya. Nkusaba onneegatteko tugende wano Washington DC bino byonna we biri mu lukuŋŋaana lw'abanna NUP olumanyiddwa nga NUP Diaspora Convention 2023. Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert Bobi Wine waali na buli munnayuganda ababeera mu diaspora we bali okulaba ng'ensonga za Uganda zitereera.
Good afternoon, Karibo. It's great to be here. It's always great to be in the presence of the great Bobby Wine. When I first met him, he was a young boy, and he's still at it. So now he's a young man, and I appreciate his determination, you know. Basically, my name is Melvin Foote. I'm the president of an organization called the Constituency for Africa. And if I have a claim to fame, I've been working on Africa my whole adult life. So nearly 50 years, I was working on Africa. I started out as a Peace Corps volunteer in Ethiopia, Eritrea. I worked 3 years in Somalia as country director for an organization called Africare. And I was brought back to Washington in 1994 to educate Americans about Africa and to prove the cooperation between organizations that work on African issues, and my work to shape U.S. policy toward Africa. Now that may sound audacious, but I can say we've had a lot of success over many years shaping U.S. policy for Africa. The Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, which is the U.S. trade bill with Africa, we did all the groundwork, we pushed it, and we got the U.S. government to change how we looked at Africa from aid to trade. We also, when President Bush came to power, it was during the time of the HIV/AIDS pandemic. And we lobbied the administration. We said, we want $3 billion for HIV/AIDS in Africa. George Bush gets to the microphone and said, $19 billion for HIV/AIDS in Africa. Even we were shocked with that, because we were pushing for $3 billion. Bush said $19 billion. Whoa. President Obama came up with when he came to power in 2008, he sent his envoy to me. He said, what do you think I should work on in Africa? Because the U.S. economy had crashed. The Republicans had really crashed the economy. They had made the U.S., so welcome to the White House, Mr. Black Man. You don't have no money. And Obama followed George W. Bush. So $19 billion for HIV/AIDS, $5 billion Millennium Challenge account. Here come Obama with nothing in his pocket. And of course, the Africans got mad at Obama. Hey, brother, why aren't you going to do more than Bush? So he sent the guy to me and said, Mel, what do you think I can do for 1 or 2 years to buy some time? You know? And so I wrote a paper and I said, don't spend your time chasing Mugabe, Biya, Museveni, and all the old guys. Don't spend your time chasing those guys. Spend your time on the young ones coming up. And that became what we know as the Young African Leaders Initiative, YALI. So my job is advocacy. My job is to move the United States to do good things for Africa. It's not a job of celebration. It's not really a protest, you know. It's a technical way that you can move the United States to do things for Africa. And that's my job, right? Let me say I've been to Uganda in 1994 when we were working on the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act. We toured Africa. And we stopped in Kampala. And we met with Museveni and his government. This is 1994. He's still in power. Wow. But I can say that Uganda is a beautiful country, as you all know. It's the pearl of Africa, as you all know. So let's don't say everything is bad about Uganda. Uganda are beautiful people, very smart people. All of you are smart. I don't have any question about that. When I first started talking about Africa, the first African I understood was Idi Amin. You guys got a problem in Uganda. You like these guys who are strong men and who, you know, dominate. You know, the culture got to be changed. Let me say, in America, the United States, most Americans don't know much about Africa. When I first went to Africa, I told my father I'm going to Africa, the Peace Corps volunteer. He said, boy, you're going to get eaten by a lion. I didn't know. And I thought that that Tarzan, who was this white man who was a program where the white man in the jungle, he talked to the animals. When I first went to Africa, I thought Tarzan would be at the airport to take us to the village. That's what I thought about Africa. So most Americans don't know anything about Africa. Most Americans, 95%, if you say, I'm from Uganda, they won't know what you're talking about. They will have no idea about Uganda. This is most Americans. Here in Washington, we tend to know more about Africa because we're more international. But you go to Nebraska, you go out to Oregon, you go to Illinois, you go other places and say, oh, I'm from Uganda. They won't even know what you're talking about, you know? So the first thing you got to realize is that Americans don't know your country. Now, the other thing what we don't realize is that African Americans, people like me, my people came to America by way of the slave trade. You know, chains. We came to America and trade. So when we think about this country, don't think we're happy. You know, a lot of Africans come in, oh, this place is beautiful. Look at the White House. Oh, look at all the food they eat. Oh, this is a great country. You black people should be happy. We ain't happy. We're not happy. You think you're mad about Museveni? We're mad about America. So don't misunderstand that. Now, your biggest advocacy in this country, the biggest people who can support you are people like me, people of my scholar. We love Africa, and I personally think that we as African Americans, we're more Pan-African than anybody in Africa. You know? We don't care if you're from Cape Town, or you're from Nairobi, or you're from Lagos. We don't care. We love Africa, and we love African people, period. So understand that about us, you know. We are Pan-Africanists. We also like Africans in Jamaica. We like Africans in Trinidad. come like this and drive a big car and live in a big house? Big man. Big man. This guy is not big enough to be you need to be a big man. I need to be ambassador. So I'm going to leave you with the fact that don't agonize, organize, you know. I'm happy to be here. It's always good to see Bobby Wine. He's one of the more decent human beings I know. And he's a stand-up. He's a stand-up guy. We were together in Baltimore at the State of the Black World Summit, and Ron Daniels is in the building, but I'm in another meeting right now. So Ron is running that meeting. He'll be back now. You'll see him. But Bobby came and was really among the people. You know, it wasn't like he was. He's us. He's the right guy, and I think one day he will be president of Uganda. I think that. And if not the president of Uganda, how about the head of the African Union? To me, which would be better. You know, the guy we got over there now. We need an AU chairperson who stands up and gets stuff done. I'm looking for African leaders who are ready to lead, and not just talk about it, not just get mad. You know, I want African leaders who are going to lead. And my message to the young people, we need more Nelson Mandelas out here. We really do. We need more Nelson Mandelas to stand up if we're going to solve the problem. The problem with Uganda is not limited to Uganda. The problem with Uganda is limited to black people. And I don't care where you are in the world, you got the same problem that you guys are arguing about with Museveni, and hell, we got all kinds of problems here with our leadership, you know? So we need young people to grow up and commit themselves to real leadership. Thank you very much.
Ensonga tuzifunye tuzitegedde bulungi. Ebigambo bye abituusizza bibadde binyuvu. Ebigambo bibadde mu ggunda.
Half of them need to be women. We are Pan-Africanists. We also like Africans in Jamaica.
Ebigambo bye tubitegedde tubifunye. Yakulira baddugavu mu America. Ebigambo abituuza bulungi nti baagala nnyo Africa nga baddugavu ababeera mu America. Era nga bandyagala kulaba Africa ng'erina eddembe, Africa nga yeeyagaza, Africa ng'enyuma, Africa nga nnungi, Africa ya mulembe, Africa nga akulana. So kebonaabona erabwako ensangi zino, erabwako leero Africa etaliimu mirembe, Africa erimu ekittabantu, Africa erimu ekiwamba bantu, Africa erimu ekitulugunya bantu. Agamba si Africa gye yandyagadde okulaba, si Africa gye yandyagadde okuwulira. N'olwekyo ayagala bannafrika, bannayuganda, mwenna gye muli, no matter where you are, no matter where you come from, oba ova Kenya, oba ova Tanzania, oba ova Rwanda, oba ova Uganda, oba ova Congo, oba ova Mozambique, oba ova Niger, oba ova Nigeria, yonna gy'ova, oba Ghana yonna gy'ova, ffenna tuli muntu omu. Tuli baana ba muddugavu, ffe baakaddugala baakuno. N'olwekyo tulina okwagalana, tulina okweyagala, ate tulina okulwanirira ebyaffe, tulina okulwanirira kontinenti yaffe ya Africa ebeere nga yeeyagaza ate nga yeegombesa ku lw'abaffe abalijja n'abaliddawo nabo bagyeyagaliremu. Ebigambo byakulaba nti badikiteeta oba bannakyemalira abali mu Africa basaanyizibwawo bawummula. Tufune abakulembeze abaagala eggwanga lyabwe, abaagala Africa era abeetegefu okugikulaakulanya. Gwe mulamwa gwe tuliko wano Nup Diaspora Convention 2023 Washington DC. Obubaka buli omu aleeta obubwe okwongera okugaziya ku ntegeera yaffe, ku kumanya kwaffe, ku biki ddala bye tulina okugoberera nga ffe bannankyukakyuka mu nsi yonna. Kati nno ebigambo ebanga mmaze okubifuna ebyo, nsaba mbasibule naye nga nkomawo n'ebindi bingi tulina kuba tuddamu tuwaye. Omukama nsaba bankuumire. Mweraba.